People who love King Ninos and people that are liars, welcome in, alright? We're gonna be watching a new Bricky video on Ultrakill, which I very much enjoy. Alright, I'm very much a big Ultrakill player, so it brings a big smile to my face that he got on this content. Me personally, I gotta say, very excited to see what he says about the game. And if it's not hype and peak, and if he doesn't love it, then there's something wrong in the universe, for sure. Okay, I understand the game has some certain flaws and everything, but it is great. Voice acting is great. Characters are memorable. Level designs are great, and weapons feel good. The point system feels good. The secret levels are amazing. Secret bosses are amazing. Soundtrack is godly. Hey, so there is a lot to be excited to watch and see how he reviews here. So without beating the bush more, I think it's about time we get into this and see what he says about the game.
I would like to grab you from through the screen into my world, a world of today's sponsor, War Thunder.
We got hit with
Yeah, I'm starting with the pretentious as hell opening. It's a video game special. Yeah, I'm starting with the pretentious as hell opening.
Nuke.
Okay,
watch
get over
me.
it. You're
you
watching a white-bearded dude on a green screen talk about video games. You know why you're here. Something that has been championed in video games for the past 10 years or so has been their ability to tell compelling stories and share a narrative that, for a while, was never really considered to be the strong suit of the medium. In fact, I think only recently has the general public, and I quote, normies, as you call them, have realized the true storytelling potential of video games, in no small part thanks to the increase of video game-based films and movies. Good ones, that is. You know, Arcane, Fallout, Last of Us, and so on. I love me a good video game story, but I will say that no matter how good the narrative is, it does not do the medium complete justice. Video games are an interactive medium. They are an experience to be played. And no matter how good your narrative might be, to me, the truly best video games are the ones that utilize their, quote, game nature to their fullest advantage. When I say Outer Wilds is one of the best games ever made, I mean that with my whole chest, because not only is it outstanding in every aspect, but it can only ever exist as a game. It elevates itself because of that fact. You cannot experience Outer Wilds in any other way than as a video game, and how it uses that is truly what puts it so far above. But that is an exploration and discovery game, one that can only ever be played once and never again. And if you aren't watching this and you haven't yet,
Hey, no, back. I'll parry the shit out of him. I'm here for a different review.
But what if this video game took the form of something else? Something bloodier, something more violent, and something with not a little amount of kill, not a medium amount of kill,
must run.
But
Ultrakill. The music. Yeah. Oh, the music is amazing.
Ultrakill is a game you all won't shut up about. Made by Finnish madman and recently escaped psych ward patient. Oh dear. RC Hakita Patala. That hack. It is truly a game that can also only ever exist as a video game. An extremely fast-paced zoomer shooter where the mechanics are made up and the points matter a lot. It's a brutally difficult game for a new generation of people who think the idea of stable bitrate is an assault to the purity and strength of steel. Ultrakill has lore, a decent amount of it, told through logs, context clues, and other various things. And while I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all,
I mean, you get some good lore drop off. You insolent machine! This is not over! May your hours be many and your bitches few.
I would be doing it a disservice if I spent more than 2 minutes of the video on it, so I'll make it brief.
Just got out L4.
So fucking poor ass Charon. Humanity was in a giant war. Robots were made for the war. These robots used blood as fuel. The war ended and there was peace. Then there wasn't peace and humanity all went extinct. So badly, in fact, that the river Styx is now massively overflowing. The remaining robots, with no blood to keep them alive, are now attempting an assault on Hell in order to get blood to continue. You are V1, a special robot with an extremely flimsy chassis and the trade-off of absorbing blood through your body via proximity. Therefore, you are fast, agile, but extremely squishy and are suited for all kinds of at a very close range.
Yes.
You are dropped immediately into the game with a pistol and begin an assault on, yes, actual Hell for blood, with the goal of committing the most ridiculous acts of
violence, Ultrakill,
that you can. This should go without saying. It is pure window dressing for the gameplay, not bad lore or anything, serviceable for the title, but what we are here for, what you and I are here for, is panic attack inducing violence at speeds barely registerable. What the fuck happened to me? The most important thing to discuss when talking about Ultrakill is the game's mechanics and how it decides to completely blow open the rulebook for things the character can do. Naturally, you have your primary weapon, and each primary weapon has an alt fire.
Talks about the parrying.
We will get to all of those in a moment. My fucking ears. You also have a ridiculous amount of movement capabilities. Jumping, sliding, dashing, and slamming are all staples of this type of movement shooter and will get you around the map and into the enemies at a breakneck pace. Then, of course, you have a parry, a great way to reflect tons of damage back at enemies and keep yourself alive. Of course, movement in this game is extremely important as you are not a particularly tanky robot, and being near enemies when you damage them heals you because you are instantly refilling on all the blood you spill. This is, of course, how a layman would describe Ultrakill. This is how someone who is late at night writing a script for a video and has ran out of creativity trying to make goofy haha about an insane finish man in a sensory overload game would write about Ultrakill. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. In order to understand this, we need to read the butt plug of the iceberg. So each weapon generally has an alt fire, right? The first revolver you start with is a charge up, which you would assume is great to do extra damage, but it also pierces through enemies in a line, which really helps if you wanted to get people all lined up in a row, which is fine, but a bit boring. What about the second revolver?
Ah, there it is. There it is.
This revolver has 4 coins attached to it. These coins can be thrown into the air and then shot, causing them to ricochet directly into enemies. That already is very cool. But what if I told you that you could throw multiple coins in the air and have them all ricochet in a huge combo? That's pretty cool, right? What about the parry? What if I told you that you can parry almost anything in the game? What if I told you parrying heals you for your entire health bar every time you do it? And what if I told you that you can parry basically any projectile out there? So the logical question afterwards would be, wait,
can I parry?
Are coins projectiles?
Yes.
Did you know that your shotgun is also a projectile?
Yes,
and by pressing parry at the same time when firing the shotgun, you can parry your own shotgun blast and do extra damage. Soon you'll be asking yourself, what can't I parry? And go on a tirade trying to find out exactly what that might be with very, very few things to find. Oh, and the third revolver variant is a cowboy rootin' tootin' ocelot-ass revolver that ricochets around the battlefield, and guess what? That bullet can also parry projectiles too. And I haven't even fully started on the 3 shotgun variants, nail gun variants, rocket launcher variants, railgun variants, and other arm attachments you can get for V1. I said that you can ricochet coins, and then said you can chain coins, and then I found an 18-minute video entirely based on coin mechanics. I said there was a ton of movement tech with sliding, dashing, and fancy jumping, but this is the wiki article on all of the other movement you can do. The gameplay that you're seeing in the background right now, this bitrate crushing, audio defiling, prostate pummeling gameplay, is normie gameplay. This is my gameplay. This is in the bottom 1/3 of mechanic usage and speed. This is not a game to be beaten. This is a game to be broken. And we cannot forget that the entire time you're doing this, you are listening to an absolute top level banger soundtrack.
Yes, every single song is a banger. Yeah. The insolent machine.
So I suppose the next question is a simple one. How do you, well, is beaten through a classic level and overworld system? They are actually split between 3 main acts comprising of limbo, lust and gluttony, greed, wrath and heresy, then so far violence, which is the only of the 3 layers in Act 3 currently released at the time of making this video. They are fun because
violence is hard, though.
They're just, you know, so video gamey, you know? The lust level, for example, is split into 5 parts, and each part has their own secrets, challenges, unlockables, and special rank requirements. Each level, of course, generally contains an end boss, and you know, it's the usual video game style stuff. As you move through the acts, you slowly accumulate more items, more things from bosses, upgrades, and so on. Each
Knuckle
area
Blaster
also
is so
slowly
useless,
adds new
I'm not gonna
enemies
lie.
too. In fact, enemies are something that I feel like are a bit of an unsung praise in Ultrakill. What the hell is that sound effect? Who the fuck are you, Tusken Raider looking ass? Oh, it's more like a droid. Oh my god! Because if you are as much of a god gamer as some of these people are, then you'll be spending barely any time seeing them as you annihilate them from the fabric of existence. But your base enemy, being the melee guy and shooty guy, is fun and simple. Then you get the big boys.
Yep, the baseball players.
Even I can be ballin'. Going through the levels, you'll get to see them from their codex entries too. And that is really fun because it reminds me of Battle for Bikini Bottom, the greatest video game of our generation, and gets you a better look at what you're fighting. The enemy variety really goes unappreciated here, like I said. They get atomized by a dude flipping coins. But that goes along with Ultrakill's main approach to its endgame, which is the P rank. P ranking this game is the highest version of a letter grade, specifically used for doing your best at whatever level you are on. Think Devil May Cry or something along those lines.
That just seemed to drag on forever.
Why is audio displaced?
Getting a P rank is a huge deal and requires a magnitude of skill in the combat of movement that will require practice and more practice to do. That said, in order to do so, you need to focus on 3 main things: time, kills, and style. Don't die, kill everything fancy with tons of weapon swapping, and do it fast. But for me, I always felt like getting these ranks for games was just a bit of an arbitrary number to add to the end of everything, lacking substance. For most games, Ultrakill is not most games. Some titles have Easter eggs, some titles have secret items, but has entire secret levels and
oh my god, I remember the Crash Bandicoot. This was annoying, the P rank.
I haven't even had the chance to experience yet because I'm not quite enough of a gamer to P rank what is required. Well, mostly. I've been slightly spoiled because I saw Big Shoe Minos. I initially thought that gating off entire levels and bosses behind rank rewards seemed to be a bit overly harsh, especially with how fast-paced Ultrakill is as a game, which means a large amount of people just won't be able to handle it. But my first run through of the game was on violent difficulty, and I was able to get a P rank one time and quite a few A ranks scattered throughout. Then I realized I could actually lower the difficulty to get P ranks easier, which makes me, yes, a bitch, but realize it's far more doable than I expected. Plus, and this should be an important point, this is not a massive AAA game that is supposed to have widespread appeal. This is a hardcore, bloody, and gory shooter made by one person whose entire point is to create a special product that if they want to make you sweat to unlock more shit, then I say, as God's witness, we should champion that. A bit of a topical statement too, considering the kind of witness God is sending against us.
Gabriel.
Twice beaten by an object.
Twice.
I've only known the taste of victory, but this taste.
God, Gani's such a good VA.
Is this my blood? I've never known such relief. I need some.
You come to my DMs and ask me to come to your stream. I book for an hourly rating, and your stun is a rush hour. I forgot his name. I'm just gonna call him Travis. Travis, that's $400. Do you accept Arby's card? Fucking die. It's fun. I love Gani.
Time to think. We will meet again, machine.
There goes the fanboy.
And your woes be many, and your days few.
I would feel a lot more annoyed that your skill locks off large swaths of the game's content, but this is the product made by one person who wants to challenge you for that skill, and I have absolutely no right telling them how they should make their game, because especially with the bosses, they've made their game pretty damn well. Speaking of, rapid fire boss thoughts begin now. Malicious Face is cool, but I hate their stupid beam. Swords Machine I beat first try, easy shit. Cerberus will never be ballin'. Dude, he's ballin'.
He is ballin'. He's ballin'.
Hideous Mass.
Boy, literally. I hate the hook. The soundtrack though.
V2 absolutely demolished me and was the first fight I struggled on, but was a damn fun one to beat. The Corpse of King Minos I first tried, and I will ride that high until I die. Gabriel beat the shit out of me and spanked my ass. Sisyphusian Insurrectionist is a tongue twister that I despise, but the boss fight's nothing crazy. I first tried the V2 rematch, and that's the second high I will be riding. Ferryman was great, pretty hard, but not too hard. Leviathan was mediocre, way too easy, not that interesting. Double Hideous Mass was easy and didn't amount to much, but it was still very fun. Gabriel, Apostate of Hate, was another fantastic boss and made me feel like I was going crazy fighting him, but I loved it, and Gianni remains a goated voice actor. And that, so far, are all the bosses I have currently faced in this game. And mind you, there are many secret ones. One might even say 50% more bosses in secret levels in locked areas, and in Act 3, which is still under development. Which might bring the question out, why did I make a video on a game before fully finishing everything it has at its disposal? Please. Well, firstly, the game isn't done yet regardless. It's an early access.
I want to hear about King Minos. Come on, the memes were
the amount of time commitment it might take me to P-rank all of the best things to get all of that extra content is tough and will require a lot of mental energy from me that I don't always have, yet I am still very interested in doing. And thirdly, and I think this is the most important, because there's absolutely nothing that I have seen that leads me to believe that every other bit of this game won't be as peak as the rest of the title, and it makes me yearn for a different area of gaming once again. I am fully ready to complete the rest of this title, and will most likely do so very shortly after this video goes live, but just looking at it, it makes me realize, oh yeah, everything else is going to be just as good. Plus, it also has me feeling a bit nostalgic for why games were made in a certain way to begin with. You know, the level system, the axe, the mission with the new enemies and the big boss at the end, a much more formulaic structure. I remember when Resident Evil 4 Remake came out and how fast I blitzed through that game because everything felt so seamless. Each area was its own location with its own enemies and its own little mechanic, and everything just felt so fresh and smooth. Each level had a purpose, a progression, a way to spice up the gameplay and more. Sometimes it's just nice to see someone who gets that, who realizes that spicing things up needs more than just a
man.
new
You're gonna
gun,
die.
but it's to take that core gameplay concept of something like Ultrakill, something so incredibly good and so incredibly smooth, and replicate that with new enemies, weapons, locations, bosses, and secrets. And it's an experience that will keep you glued to your screen for hours on end as you down energy drink after energy drink keep the P ranks flowing. Who needs drugs when you've got coins? It's almost like returning to the basics really means something and isn't just a pair of nostalgia goggles, especially considering it isn't just for games like Resident Evil, but works for insane off-the-wall shooters of pure blood and gore like Ultrakill. It really ends up turning this game into something special, and I actually have had to force myself to not load it up because, you know, streamer man needs to stream it and not play it on their own time. But I have constantly wanted to just play the damn game on my own time and force myself not to. It has those hooks in me. There is nothing more inspiring than someone with a clear and honest vision, making it a reality, and the public absolutely eating it up. That's why I love Sam Lake That Hacks products, and it's why I adore the trifecta of video games, being indie, solo developer, and overwhelmingly positive. It is proof of the skills and prowess of the little guy to make a game better received than an algorithm-backed megacorp, and I hope that message is sent out for those of you who are working on your own projects and are too scared to go out and give it a real try. Look at this and look at every other solo dev game I've reviewed, and the one currently nominated for Game of the Year gets a 4 brick from me on the scale. Barely any negatives at all, and most are tiny nitpicks. I am extremely excited to play the rest of the secrets, the rest of Act 3, and I'm considering putting together a big old school boomer zoomer shooter video in the future and talking about this one again when it's finally out. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Apologies for the bizarre visual style this time around. I had issues with my camera, so instead you get this version of me throughout the video instead.
Okay.
I think it's funnier to tell you about it now than to tell you about it in the beginning. I would highly recommend you check out the merch store down below at brickymerch.com. The main reason is because I am selling a brand new mat, a trading card game and desk mat.
All right, he's just gonna be plugging. That was a good watch. Man, I love Ultrakill. Ultrakill is based. I want to play it now. All right, thinking about it these days, it just makes sense. I mean, it makes me want to play it now. I want to play it now because I just know I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna have to remember the controls on my controller about it, but I definitely want to play it. I want to play this. But then again, I don't want to get addicted to it. Again, I already got off of it. I don't need to get on. I love it. And parrying, you can parry anything, and you know what? It's a joy. Anyways, YouTube, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to this. It's always, Bricky makes good content, and I enjoy it. Hope you guys see you guys later. As always, record this live. Pass by my Twitch. If you want to be here live, like that though. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do post twice daily, so hit that notification bell. You want to get notified on those. Besides that though, that's all for me. Bye bye YouTube.